Welcome back to the 10th Isle. My name is 10th Isle, and as always, hope you're doing well today. This week on Point of View, I've got a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right in feet first. Games! Oh boy, we have had an exciting week with games because we've been playing more Rust, of course. Having some fun with friends for a server reset, just all the guns everywhere. It was crazy and awesome. And Rust is really fun. We're going to play a lot more of it. I'm really excited to play more with friends, team up, have a crazy time, and all that stuff will be streamed. Check that link in the description there for the Twitch channel. Also played a little bit of Outward again. Finally got back in, played, I don't know, 3 or so hours of that. And it was awesome to figure out some of the systems in the game, progress it, do some damage to some foes, and run into some bugs. There is apparently a patch that's going to go live at some point soon-ish. Not sure exactly about that. I read all the stuff on that. We'll put that in the description if you're super interested for the Outward patch, but it's very cool. If you like survival games, like full-on survival games, but it's got a little bit of action-adventure in it, I recommend you check it out, especially now that it's on sale over the Steam sale for like 30% off or something crazy. I don't even know. I got it for like 20 bucks. Definitely worth 20 bucks. Check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. And the final game we'll talk about, Overwatch. I just can't even begin to understand what is going on with the competitive ranking system in Overwatch. It is just turds. It's turds. I ranked really low again, and I think I'm just gonna have to dig myself on out of that hole if I ever want to play competitive. But I do enjoy playing with some others, so it's a good time. But I wish the competitive wasn't so insane with all of the insanity. I wish it wasn't so rough on me playing like a tank healer. I wish it was a little more manageable, but I digress. That is enough talk of games. Oh, and I forgot. What games are you guys playing lately? What are you into? What's really doing it for you? Pick up any new games on the Steam sale? I know you did. There's a couple of you out there. You picked up some games. You're thinking of refunding them. I know it. It's okay. Let me know down in the comments below. So let's mix it up a little bit this week, and we'll talk about books. I started reading my book again, One Door Away from Heaven, and I'm liking how the story's unfolding. I'm not liking how I'm not reading more. I really need to get myself in a groove of reading, like, even if it's 10, 15 minutes before I go to sleep, because I've found that when I do read before I go to sleep, I'm actually sleeping a lot better. I'm not sure if that's a real thing or not, if that's all mental or what. How do you guys read? Do you read before bed? Do you just read for fun anytime? Let me know down in those comments below. And kicking forward, we have TV and movies and stuff. Yeah, so we've got a lot of TV to talk about. Let's start off with the show that I am super digging, that is totally a weird, guilty pleasure sort of thing now. And my son actually super enjoys it, so it makes it really easy to kind of just chill with him. Forged in Fire, the show about making bladed weapons. I don't know what it is. I've watched like 2 seasons of this in a week. It's just awesome seeing the whole process and learning some of the stuff. I'm sure it's completely not all real, whatever. It's on the History Channel. Who knows anymore? But I really dig that show. And again, it makes it a really easy thing to kind of watch when my son's doing his thing, so that helps out a lot. That show's awesome. Another show I checked out this week, The Sun, on Hulu. And it is pretty awesome. It's kind of an old-timey, 19th century, flashes back a little bit to the 1800s too, but it's about like trying to make it. And I believe it's going to get into some oil stuff. I've watched the first 2 episodes, and it talks about a lot of the, the first people and the relationship with civilization, right there in the early 1900s. And that stuff is super fascinating to me. I even joked with my wife, because I'm watching this one by myself, which is rare. But I joked with my wife, I said, you would not like this show. It's old-timey and slow. And she said, yep, that sounds about right. So I really enjoy it. I would suggest you check it out. It doesn't seem like it's terribly long. I don't know if there's more episodes or not. I'll have to look into that. But I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Just, whew, it gets brutal at times, but man, it's really a good watch. Full warning, spoilers ahead. And last but not least, Handmaid's Tale. This show is getting a little bit crazy, kind of pulling the yarn on a lot of the sub-stories. And what is that whole thing with Commander Lawrence's wife? Wow. June is diabolical. Diabolical. And what's the deal with all the barbed wire everywhere, even at schools and whatever? My goodness. This show, this is episode 7, so it's getting kind of chaotic. I do love where they tried to go at the end of the episode, but man, my wife and I were both practically getting out of our seats. Like, what? Why didn't you go the full way? You had the opportunity and you didn't take it. Ugh. Darn it. And I know I said it was the last thing in TV, but I guess this kind of counts in TV too. Anime! My wife and I started Fairy Gone, also on Hulu. It's a pretty interesting show, kind of magical stuff about fairies and some really dark undertones with all of that. Kind of interesting first episode where they introduce all the characters and kind of all the conflict, and it seems like it's in an alternate reality. It's interesting, and got some old-timey in there, it feels like too, but the second episode was just confusing, so I think I might have to rewatch that one. But overall, it seems very cool aesthetic, interesting art style. If they take off a little bit of that gray, it might end up being pretty awesome. Moving on, music! I've listened to a variety of music this week. Very interesting. Last week we talked about Infant Annihilator and how I kind of came across them organically. And now I have actually started to listen to quite a bit of their music, and it's not bad. The song names do get just crazier and crazier, but if you're looking for a pretty out there, pretty hardcore metal band, yeah, they are it. I actually really enjoy just listening to the instrumentals and not always really being able to understand any of the vocals, but that's okay. It's pretty kick-ass stuff, so check him out. And completely out of left field, we've got some surprises. I guess for the first time, just heard Jessie Reyez Imported. I believe that is a Black that's featured on that. That is a good damn song. Man, I really like that. It's filthy, and it's just good. Maybe I'm like really late to that party, but I really like that song. I kind of want to listen to it right now. It's a good song. Jessie Reyez, I heard bits from her before. I believe she featured on Eminem's previous album. So she's good. I kind of knew that she would be good, but this track is pretty awesome. I also heard Nicki Minaj's latest single, Megatron. Now, I'm no stranger to this position, I'm sure. I'm sure I've talked about this at some point before, at some point on the internet. But I'm not a fan of Nicki Minaj. And it continues with this track. I don't think it's very good. That effect that she's doing, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I wish I did. It's a valiant effort, but I don't even understand why she's even referencing Megatron. Because Megatron's way cooler than anything that happens at all in this track. Like, seriously. Unless she's talking about Calvin Johnson, the wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. And even then, he's still cooler than this song. Continuing the out of left field, Polo G? Never even heard of this guy. But this song, Pop Out, I actually genuinely like it. It's very catchy. And I was, listening and vibing in the car, as I will do. And it's one I kind of want to listen to again and maybe check out some of their stuff to see if that's something I'm getting into, because I fluctuate all over the place with my music. I listen to so much different stuff that why not add something poppy and catchy to it? It could be fun. Back into the normal gear, I listened to Silverstein's latest single, Burn It Down, and that's a typical Silverstein track. A little bit of emo edge in there, but it's pretty good. I don't really have too much to say. I've only heard it the one time, but it left a very good first impression, and I like Silverstein, so kind of a good fit for me. And wrapping up the week in music, I listened to Sum 41's latest single, Never There, and surprisingly enough, I actually like it. I've liked most everything that's come out recently by Sum 41. And if you go back, 15 plus years, whenever I've first heard their stuff, probably longer than that now, God, I'm old, I didn't really care for most of their stuff. This is a very light track, very easy to listen to. One I definitely want to go back and listen to again and maybe dissect a little bit. And that's it for music. Really, a weird week in listening to music. What have you guys been listening to? I feel like I'm listening to a lot more now, and maybe I should be listening to even more because I tend to enjoy music and it keeps me pretty well centered. But let me know down in those comments below what you guys have been listening to. On to the final topic for this week here on Point of View. Politics. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about politics. We talked about it enough last week. That's actually it for this week's Point of View. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit up the comments down below with answers to all the questions that we proposed. And I hope to see you again soon. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. And I will be thoroughly grateful. Have an awesome day.